camouflage for all the reasons you just mentioned, be it a Photic shield to protect himself. He's obviously a big boon to his teammates, but he's just not a hero that is really easy to engage in most situations unless you catch him with something like a long duration stun or silence. And even then, if he's past 6, borrowed time makes it a complication. So the AoE team fight is undeniable from Na'Vi. Even, you know, stuff like this, you can't completely overlook even the power of Plasma Field from Razor and the way it fits into that. Like, very often you think of Razor, you think of what he gives you in terms of being able to static link, steal damage, and then just right-click, also tank up and push towers with his ultimate and so on. But whenever you're talking level 6, level 7 Faceless Void, Enigma, if he's able to hit a good black hole off of a nice chrono that catches, say, 3 heroes, and Plasma Field from outside, not to mention his right-click, that's a whole lot of burst potential. But EG gives themselves a safety belt. They draft the #1 position, Terrorblade.
Yeah, I'm wondering how EG wants to play in this. They have a lot of different options. They can go Terrorblade with Ogre if they presume it's going to be a Faceless Void top, and Ogre can just harass and zone out the Faceless Void will just ignite. Terrorblade will get free farm. Then they can put a dual lane bomb, which was going to be fine against whatever. It's going to be Tinker, actually, is the last pickup here for Na'Vi US. Yeah, it is a very greedy draft from them. And Fogged on the Enigma, so I thought maybe they would do some kind of, like, off-lane Enigma with another support and just make sure that the tri-lane wins. And Fear's going to be playing the Zeus, and EG has a lot of options. It just depends on what they want to prioritize. Like, do they want to shut down the greed of Na'Vi US and understand that Terrorblade will just out-farm and out-carry everything? I do think that Tinker actually is a good hero against Terrorblade because the, actually, did they change it? It used to be composite damage on the, on the Martian
they took that out.
I gotta check if it's... Is it physical or magical damage? I think it's magical.
No, it's not, because you can't still use it on Ancients. I think they changed it. What did they change it to?
It's magical. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, is it magical?
But,
yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason I wanted to say it was pure, but I knew that wasn't right. So yeah.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yes, that's what I was saying. It's like, oh, they changed it to pure. No, they didn't, because Tinker's not first pick, first ban every game. My bad. Go ahead.
He would be the best hero in the game by far, but no, magical damage is good against Terrorblade because his illusions just get owned in the early stage of the game. So I imagine what EG does is like secure farm on RTZ. Maybe he even goes... Well, they have a Zeus, and Zeus is just so good in mid. So I imagine they just do a dual lane for him. Once he gets core items, he goes to the jungle. They free up farm for like the Jakiro or something, or whoever, Zai maybe. And then RTZ just farms. But I don't know. If they don't ward up the camps for the Enigma, I actually think that Na'Vi US could have a good time. Because, yeah, the draft is really greedy, but EG prioritized the Terrorblade right now. So if they don't roam into the jungle right now, disrupt the Enigma's farm, ward up his camps, I actually think Na'Vi US's lineup is not too bad, to be honest.
Oh no, I think it's a good example of a lineup that's in the lineup itself, and what the heroes are capable of in conjunction with each other is amazing. And like you said, pointing out the magical damage on the Tinker, very, very good answer to Terrorblade and so on. But it's a matter of how much farm they're going to require. I mean, assuming MSS, the MSS is basically a solo support this game. He'll have some help from the Enigma. He'll probably want to get up a mech, and he'll help with wards and that kind of a thing. But MSS is really going to be broke as a joke all game long. And every hero on the side of Na'Vi US demands a sufficient amount of farm. Even the Void, who can get away early on without having a ton of farm. Hang on, MSS spotted. Zai hasn't placed a point yet.
Oh, disconnect.
And that's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll have Fog back momentarily. But anyway, yeah. Even though their whole lineup just demands so much farm to get much of anything done. And, Mirana played as a support position like this where there's absolutely no room on the map for her to ever really be given farm priority. I mean, she's basically going to be her arrow and her ulti. And those are amazing abilities, but we're not going to see a ton out of MSS out of that. The Void, as the game goes later, is going to need more and more items. He's going to demand farm. Tinker, of course, tends to eat a lot of farm on the map. And Razor, if he's not given some level of farm priority, or at least a lot of kills and a lot of towers early, he does fall off. I mean, he sufficiently itemed, he's a beast all game. But if he's not given a ton of room, and like I said, if his gold gain isn't sufficient, and he's slow to his scepter, slow to his BKB, suddenly he's not that scary.
Yeah, I think that Na'Vi US just have a ton of tools to deal with Terrorblade in the late game. I really do. Here comes an Ignite aggressive from Zai. If they get an arrow here, no, but PPD will be ready with the shield, so I don't think they can kill him. I'm wondering more if they saw this ward placed by PPD in the Magic Bush spot. Do they have sentries? Of course they don't, because they have an Enigma, which is very... Well, he actually is saving gold, so if they knew exactly where they warded it, he could buy it right now. But
it's actually pretty good cover for that, because he ran forward and then it was placed, so just paying attention to the aggression instead of the warding spot, they might have missed it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not completely taking out his jungle, but they are annoying the pulls at least a little bit. MSS taking a ton of frickin' damage from Zai. He's almost dead.
He's gonna have to go back to the base and heal. No, he's already burned 2 tangos as well, so his regen is quite low. It wouldn't surprise me if he grabbed a salve whenever he came back out as well, like just to have it. But anyway, double damage picked up by the Ogre Magi. This ward, if it was spotted, it's not being accounted for yet, and they've got a rune ward on the high side of this bottom lane. Off lane will be Korok, no surprise. He's going to be up against PPD and against Arteezy. What do you think of Korok in this matchup? I feel like he should at least get some levels.
Yeah, he'll get at least levels, but even though this is double melee, they can actually harass him pretty nicely. Like Arteezy, the Terrorblade does a lot of damage. His attack animation's amazing. He's got 10 armor right now with a casual ring of protection. Zai actually tried to body block this camp right here.
Oh, Ush.
His Ush didn't die?
Okay, he's just gonna die. Like I was actually like the double damage rune on Zai expires. Easy first blood. Like he just ran up, caught him with an ignite, and beat him to death. And PPD going toe to toe with Korok and top. But that's a very quick and early lead for EG.
That's really massive. He didn't even use the dual breath early leveled from the Jakiro. I mean, he boots himself on Ush as well, but still managed to get tracked down. That's a really big deal. And since he already zoned out the Mirana before the lanes even took place, like now she's like, I don't want to go back bottom. It's really long ways away. Maybe I can get an arrow on mid. And he could actually, possibly. If he gets an arrow, he's dead. But no fear, he's going to have his bottle now. Should be regenning up here, and yeah, he might be okay. In fact, here comes the roam from Zai. Wants to put some pressure onto the Enigma, who is level 3. He comes over and just hits one of those satyrs or satyrs. But yeah, he actually tried to body block this from the high ground right here, but it doesn't work. I don't know if he knows that, but he was like really far over. It still doesn't work.
Fear, dodge an arrow. PPD's going to find himself an invis. He's on the tail of MSS. And already, I mean, outside of the first blood, even the laning phase seems to be really favoring EG. It's a wash here between Merlini and Fear in mid. Down at bottom, we do see Ush getting a nice amount of damage stolen from Universe, so the absence of Zai does not go unnoticed and unpunished. But Fogged, as you said, I mean, he's doing okay in the jungle. He's got his soul ring up. Up at top, Korok's doing well as the roam from PPD freed him up, and he's been playing right in the face of Arteezy. But Arteezy with 2 points in the meta just used it. Pretty sure he's going to want to stay away. He's going to eat so much damage if he doesn't. But already at bottom. Yep, dive. Ignite. Universe doesn't have an ice path. Not going to need it. Ush is just dead.
Easy kill.
Yep.
And
this
I
is
don't know
why
why they're not. I don't know why they're not helping him. Like, I don't know why the bottom is trying to run around and do stuff otherwise. Like, even if they're not actually winning the lane or killing people, like, you can't afford to have your Razor die like this. He's too important.
We're seeing exactly why the Ogre Magi is so highly valued in both scenes, East and West. Like, what he gives you in the laning phase is just ridiculous. I mean, it's so good. And this is a question I was actually going to ask him. PPD did place his second point in a Curse of Avernus just to make harassing Korok that much easier. MSS has his way down the bottom. Is going to try to take some pressure off of Ush, but it's going to be a long road for him. His CS is 10, not bad. The Jakiro is just 11, so it's not as if he's crushing him in that regard, but having died twice, it's just a very problematic start for a hero that, you know, calling him Snowball is not really fair because, I mean, you can farm him into relevancy, and he does farm okay because of Plasma Field in terms of gold gain and how quickly he can farm, but he does need to never lose momentum. You know, a Razor that just flattens out becomes all dead weight very quickly.
Yep, bottom rune's going to be a bounty. Top rune secured by the Abaddon. That's going to be illusion. And yeah, the Curse of Avernus is like the mother load of value points because you get a static 15% movement speed bonus. It's really, really good. The other things you get on top of that per level is great and all, but that movement speed is like the biggest thing. So the movement speed slow, of course, scales better, but it's a static movement speed bonus, and that's the most important thing. MSS dies bottom was Jakiro.
Just killed him.
Yeah, this lane down here was their first 2 overall picks, and it's not like this has been a surprise. EG picks this every game they draft. The Jakiro and the Ogre Mage are easily their most 2 valued heroes, and they get them. Which seems a lot more than I think they should.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. And Ush, they just about could have dove him. I think if Zai had more health, they might have. They might have put him up front, let him tank the tower damage and gone. But Korok at top, still sitting at 7 CS, not bad. He is just about level 4.5. He's about a full level behind Arteezy, and PPD still at level 2.5 though, so it is coming at a trade. Korok's doing okay. But I agree with you, like, and I'm surprised that Jakiro isn't more highly valued by more teams. Like the Ogre Mage, I think everyone's clued into. Like you see him drafted and played, no matter what the region, no matter what the team, everyone seems to want to get him if they can. The Jakiro, though, still, he's valued, but not nearly as highly. You know, a lot of last pick Jakiros, for example, we'll see in the East. And in the West, it kind of varies team to team, but both are just amazing heroes. And we're seeing that put on full display right now.
Yep, tower damage here coming from Arteezy. He's going for the 0-3-3 build, which I think is fine. It's also especially good if he does action in mid. Zai may have overstepped a little bit. Couldn't dodge the arrow. It's very difficult. It's a very narrow spot, and he already had the Malefice level 1 onto him. So nice counter kill. It actually goes to Fog too. It's doing quite well. I mean, it's not the level 6 by 6 minutes that you usually see on Enigmas, but he had a little bit of pressure. He has 1 ward under in his jungle, so doing quite fine for himself.
Oh yeah, I think Fog's in fine shape. Double damage has spawned at top, down at bottom. Ush is dead. The Universe going to take some damage before, but Zai just needs a Fire Blast, and there it is. Still burning down. And that's the killing spree for Universe. He's got 1,200 gold in his tranks, man. And he's going to buy a TP, head back to the house to regen, but he's going to have his Yules so unbelievably fast. Yeah, he's like, there's Staff of Wizardry. And now, yeah, he's so close to a Yules. He's like on pace, and saying on pace whenever he's gotten a killing spree this early is a little, perhaps a little optimistic. But if he stays close to on pace, or at least on what you would expect, he's going to have like an 11-minute Yules, if that.
Yeah, I could easily see faster. I mean, he's got the most expensive component. He can disassemble his Ring of Bassi if he really wants to, and just have that casual Ring of Armor or Ring of Protection, which is very, very doable. We see a lot more now because it gives a 3 armor. So yeah, I could see a 10-minute Yules, something like that. Arrow comes out, not gonna hit. And I just haven't felt MSS's presence really at all, other than that one kill onto the Ogre where he kind of just went too far. But I just don't think that this bottom is doing really much anything to help out the lanes. And I think Ush is just standing way too far up, and actually as a result he's gotten top. He's like, screw bottom lane, I want to go up against the Terrorblade. Korok, you can go gank. Because that's what Korok is doing, he's ganking.
And this is by far my favorite part of the Enigma pick in any situation, core or support. As soon as teams start to switch their lanes, if be winning the lane or losing the lane. If you're losing the lane, they will bail out and go take a team fight somewhere else, and you're trying to play catch up by yourself. Look how quick that tower went down so quickly, man. It had taken a little bit of damage, but not a lot. And level 4 Liquid Fire is no joke at 8 minutes. Like, this will melt, absolutely melt a lot of these heroes if he gets it on them. Even just one tick of it. And look how deep he's pushed. And what's Korok going to do? He's not 6 yet. I'm sure when Universe Season hits 6, he'll back off. He doesn't want to get solo chrono. But I don't even know that Korok could kill him. And like, here comes, Zai's going to come on back down. And they're just going to pressure it all the way to this tier 2. And look, it's down to half health. They have to use their second glyph. And max Liquid Fire is so strong. Like, they're going to take this tower if they don't send 2 heroes here right now. They send 1, I still think they take it.
Yeah, they're sending the bottom, who's
tower's
maybe
dead.
Put in some tower. Yeah, the tower is dead. Actually, huge. Zai might fall, but even then, I don't know. Here comes a Macropire. There is a Chronosphere, but Zai will die.
Yep.
Will he? Okay.
Yeah, they got it. But that's Merlini out of mid.
Yeah, that's not worth it at all. I mean, the Tinker has bots. Merlini is doing quite well in mid, but this bottom lane is a massive disaster.
Yeah, Tinker number 3 in overall net worth. To tell you the truth, the top 3 are right on top of each other, so you may as well call it 1A, B, and C. But there's going to be the Zeus ulti. They're going to get 1 kill at top. MSS he does spin the leap, and that's the only thing that saved him. He had 16 HP when he leapt in mid. Fog trying to do something, get something done for his team, but the tower should be denied here by Zai. Nope. Damage from the Eidolon's a little too strong. So at the very least, Fog taking some pressure off, but This top tower is going to die in a hurry. Arteezy's level 8, max meta, max conjure image. And this is looking bad. Whenever you have a team that can just get out of control this quickly, and as you always talk about with the Zeus, and you've sold me on, his damage output is so high that if you as a team are falling behind and you don't have anyone who's that far ahead with BKB, he will just kill you almost by himself. Like, kill 3 heroes at once in these fights. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I like the build that he's doing too with the maxing arc lightning over the static field secondary. Really need the most common maxing static field, but I don't think it's as good. Like, I've seen the Chinese team do this as well, where you just get more damage out of the arc lightning, and the extra jumps actually makes a bigger deal in team fights too, because usually there's minions and stuff in the way, but you get a lot of extra damage. And I know it only goes up by 15, but it actually goes from 15 to 30. I didn't even know this. So it actually is a very big value point from level 3 to 4. You learn something every day. It goes 15, 15, 15, then 30. So that's a big jump, actually.
And now some potential for engagement in mid. Fog is there. He's level 8. We actually see Korok caught with a fire blast. EG prioritizing elsewhere. Down at bottom, we see Navi US is trying to catch up and farm where they can. These 3 in mid are really the 3 monsters they need to excel at this stage of the game. They need them when they're spending a lot of time here together now. They need to get something accomplished. Otherwise, they're just wasting time. Though I guess in fairness, they are making room for Ush, who's got brown boots and a bracer. That's the kind of game Ush has had. He is less farm than Zai is.
Yeah, it's just not good. He's just, I don't even know how he died top, because there weren't any stuns, and Arteezy doesn't have his first spell, which is the only slow kind of initiating spell. He must have just...
He came in low health, Zeus popped his ulti, and a lot of damage was done.
But yeah, but he shouldn't have been staying with low health is what I mean. Like,
oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not a good game for him, and it's not all his fault. Like, I still think that the decision to have a Potom support, also in general, against heavy push, Potom is just, especially as a support, is not that great because she doesn't offer anything to de-push. An arrow, maybe. But the thing is and maybe her invis, but her invis is not useful against push liners. That's why we don't see Nyx very much anymore, or Bounty Hunter as an offlaner. Because when you're pushing, you get more gold from towers, and that means the supports have extra gold for sentry wards. And so any kind of initiation from the backfield through invis is just futile and not usually as effective as it would be against a non-push lineup.
EG certainly off to a hell of a lead. 4,500 gold and about 3K experience. 6-2. And everyone's just kind of taking a break for a moment. I thought we were actually going to see Navi US start to group a bit. And maybe that's going to be the case down at bottom. Zai gets off a fire blast. 2 heroes heading that way. That's going to be MSS, who again has not been as impactful as they really needed him to be. Hooking up with the Razor. And Korok's going to go. And Chrono. Fear's right there, though. His damage output, yeah, he has to run. They're going to follow it up with others. But here comes Fear, and yeah, he's going for the kill on Korok. Merlini's there. Fear does get his own kill. It's a 1-0 right now. I didn't even see how the Ogre got away.
Healed up, I think, by PPD.
Wow.
By the Abaddon. And yeah, Fear is doing tons of damage. Universe has his Yules, as he's had for quite some time, with another 1,300 gold. And he wants to Yules the... Yeah, he's trying to get Merlini here, actually. Merlini's pretty fast at 405 movement speed. Just a bit faster, and actually fogs Universe there, because he thought he went to the right, as it is nighttime. If it was daytime, maybe he gets the kill.
EG reacting and taking what looked to be a sure kill and turning it around into a disaster for Navi US. Yeah, whenever Fear blinked, I watched him and just assumed that they would be able to clean up the Ogre without a problem from behind. But again, he's just so survivable, man. He's got a medallion up now as well, and he even allows Arteezy to heal off of him using the Sunder. But yeah, I mean, the medallion up already. They're on Dire's side. They're going to be able to take Roche ridiculously fast. He's got +6 armor from the medallion, and his natural strength gain is very, very good. And they're just going to have a... Like, until the Void gets up at least the Mask of Madness, they're not going to be able to kill anyone.
I mean, Arteezy has almost a Manta treads at like 14 minutes. This is... Oh, it's really bad for Navi US. And the Terrorblade, this is only... We haven't even seen what he can do. We know what he can do, but we haven't seen it yet. Ush coming up with a haste rune. Could maybe make something here happen. Here comes Zeus, though, to maybe do some damage and just fend him off a little bit. And yeah, he's not going to really get that kill. So nice rotation from Zeus, scared him away a little bit. Zeus is level 11 with a blink himself, so he's got a lot of damage to output. Oh, it kind of sucks he didn't put his 4th point into Arc Lightning. Now that I've seen that, especially that it's a big value point for me to afford. Oh well.
It's gonna spam this wave out, and look at the damage he just did to Korok for free. Yeah. And only 1 point in the backtrack makes me like, and that's something, you know, that's a strategic decision and understandable why he would go the build he has. But if you don't get lucky and backtrack some of these big nukes coming from the Zeus, you're gonna die very quickly as a Glass Cannon Void. And don't think he's gonna be prioritizing a BKB above Mask of Madness. And yeah, he's already got up his Morbid Mask. Arrow's gonna be a little bit off. Fear's right there. He will blink away. Zai's going to have to abandon ship here. Or they might engage out, actually. Here comes Arteezy. And he's just going to come farm Eidolons, it looks like. Very ballsy to just get in their face like that. Down at bottom, we can see Universe just continuing to farm. Universe has 2,200 gold on top of a completed Yules. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yep, you just bought a blink, too. And they can afford to be balls, like, right up in their face. Aggressive just because they have the Abaddon pick. Oh, Peter actually just... That was kind of a mistake. Just uses borrow time for no reason. Oh well.
Badfinger?
No, he missed coiled to heal, but it brought him below the threshold.
Ah.
So, if you want to do that, you got to shield yourself first.
2-7, and we've yet to see Na'Vi put the pieces together. They do have a great teamfight team, but EG is just managing the map so well. It's going to be 2 Yules, as Fear is getting one up now. It's his second item. Universe with his blink, as you said. Putting a stack on the Ancients for Arteezy. And yeah, Arteezy's Manta's done. Like, we're talking 17-minute Manta, Treads, Aquila. That's ridiculous. Like, just truly absurd.
Yeah, I've seen games where Terrorblades take over a game where they have at this time, like, Treads, Bracer. Not even kidding. And they can still take over a game. Oh, Fear blinks backwards into an arrow. Can Peter get here in time? He gets the... No, he can't.
That was a good chrono. There's going to be a black hole as well because the Yules from Universe saved Fear momentarily. Ice Path is there. Fear not going to be back up, but they're going to get at least 2 in return. March of the Machines doing good damage. But EG on point. It was a good play. It was a good play by the Void that time to chrono both of them. But it was just, you know, again, EG quick to react. Universe there to draw it out a little further with his Yules, and Macro Pyre, Ice Path, pretty good abilities together last I checked. 9-3, the rich get richer. And, you know, you can see Na'Vi US is putting a dent at least. They're doing a decent job of stopping the bleeding in terms of gold going the way of EG. But now with the Mask of Madness up, I feel like they really are going to need some nice, like, 2-on-1 kills. Like, the Void +1, killing high priority targets. Even the Jakiro falls under that heading now.
You're coming in. Almost has his Yules, and this is a dead Razor yet again. Arrow can maybe stop the bleeding a little bit. Hits Universe. That's the bleeding I was talking about, and it actually will save him. So nicely played by MSS.
One of the first big arrows he's come up with. He did hit the one at top, so maybe now finding his groove and his comfort zone a little bit. Next big fight EG takes, if they get a gank down here in bottom, or they take a 3-for-1 or a 2-for-1 in mid, it's going to be a free Roshan and a free Aegis for Arteezy. So as of right now, Na'Vi US has officially run out of room for mistakes, and they might even just decide to take a chance on it and just dare them to come fight them. Up, Universe got the combo off on Fog, but help was there. Merlini showing up. And if you're in Na'Vi US's shoes right now, like, what's your plan? I mean, we knew coming in how greedy their lineup would be, and it just hasn't panned out gold gain-wise.
I would try to get pickoffs with the Chronosphere plus Arrow combination, and let Razor do nothing but farm, and let Tinker do nothing but farm. I think Tinker can take over a game. We've seen this before. Like, the biggest nerf to Tinker was that you can't farm as fast pre-10 minutes with the Ancient stacking. But essentially, the hero is same, except for the Eth is not as fast. That's the only real nerf to the actual hero in the late game.
Arrow from MSS hit Arteezy, but PPD on point with the Aphotic Shield. That's going to be an Aegis going to our Terrorblade. And it's getting to the point, a couple more items, where you're like if Zai had a Scepter, and he's not all that far from it. If Zai has a Scepter, maybe one more item on the Terrorblade, whatever he wants to build. And, like, they're honestly just about in a position where they can start marching at towers, and I don't know how Na'Vi US can stall. Well, that's a lie. Merlini does have max march in the machine, so that at least is hard to push into. That'll buy them time if nothing else.
Yeah, Tinker March is pretty good for base defense, but then it's like, I don't think EG really has a problem saying, all right, well, let's just go back and farm because they have a Terrorblade.
Right.
Whereas Navi US, they have good farm, or they have good heroes to fight. Like, oh, here we go. That's gonna be double ice.
Got him
both.
both. No follow. Looks like they just really want to prioritize Fogged, and Fogg doing what he can on his way down. But EG just continues to pile it on. And I'm actually surprised. We've yet to see a major dip in the gold graph yet, despite the farming prowess of Arteezy and despite the immense kill lead now. But, like you said, EG is in no rush. They have no sense of immediacy, and they shouldn't. They don't have to have any. Korok is going to be going Maelstrom after his Mask of Madness, but again, I don't know who he's going to kill. Like, unless it's a perfect Chronosphere that catches like 4 heroes, PPD can take care of everyone. He can get Yulesed if the Jakiro's not in it. Basically, he has to get 3 heroes, and it has to be the same 3 every time. Problem is, if you don't get the 4th, it's a Fire Blast and could be a multicast. And I don't know how. Like, it's just going to be so hard if EG starts to group as 5 and push.
Yeah, and actually, in big team fights, I don't think the Chronos is effective because they don't really have like your big AoE follow-up inside of it. It's basically a very slow march of machines. Like, by the time the Chrono is done, I don't even know if all the marches will even hit.
Yeah.
Just because it takes some time to come out. The best they have is a Razor Nuke. That's it. So, I'm just talking about in team fights. For small skirmishes and ganks, actually, hold
Yule's bomb. Macro, and
yeah,
he's dead. That was a quick reaction from Merlini, but he didn't get there anywhere near fast enough. That was a pretty quick reaction from MSS to use the Moonlight Shadow. But, yeah, with the Void continuing to fall further and further behind, Merlini's gone straight up Blink Dagon, and understanding just how badly they need damage right now. Still don't know that it's going to matter all that much.
Yeah, they just have to use the Chronospheres for pickoffs, small pickoffs. Hope to have us bounce back somehow with farm. It's not actually doing too bad. He's a little bit behind the Zeus. Only 400 gold behind the Zeus, so who has the Yules now. And yeah, hope and pray that Merlini can carry this.
Well, Fogged is down at bottom. Still have yet to see a black hole out of him. And to be honest, I mean, he got the mech up at a decent time, but they haven't gotten a whole lot out of him. They pushed some towers, I guess, in fairness, but like, I don't know. Like, the way EG's playing right now is just working for them. Letting the Terrorblade farm, rotating 3 of their 4 heroes in and out, and making sure usually 3 together. There's a Scotty. Are you serious? He has a Manta Scotty treads Aquila at 22.5 minutes. That's ridiculous.
216 CS at 25 minutes, or 22 minutes rather. It's got to be one of the highest, actually.
Dude, his farm is so huge and so massive, it's created a gravity well around it. It's got smaller farms orbiting. Like, it is gigantic.
Yeah, actually, he probably has a record of CS. It's very, very high. So, anyway, yeah, I mean, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. They're going to need... I actually think Dagon 5 is probably the right call if he wants to level it up, just because he needs the range. It's not about the damage. He needs to be able to hit things in range and not be in range of the Yules. Speaking of Yules, MSS is more than dead. My god.
Didn't even need it. He could have 4-shot him. Now Merlini's the target. Arteezy, look at this. Couldn't even get away with bots. Oh, he actually did, but you can't run from heaven. As Tinker eats it back at the base, Korok will have to... Oh, what a nice path. Well shot from Universe. 3 down, and the route is on. And, like, there just comes a point where I think you click on Arteezy and go, huh, I wonder what he's got. Oh, then GG.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Zai taking some damage, but giving it as well. Maybe he gets lucky multicasts, and nope, no luck here. I still have to back off. Lush pops his ulti, and he runs back to base. And these towers are taking some damage. Arteezy, Aegis is reclaimed.
Yep.
And he actually doesn't get, unfortunately, the regen from it. But yeah, that's a very long Roche respawn.
Yeah, waiting on... I'm sure that's what their EG's plan is going to be. Just farm like hell. Oh, wow. Zai picked up by Merlini. Gets himself his 3rd kill of the game. And he's had a pretty solid game. I mean, he's the only player on the map keeping up at all with Arteezy. And granted, you know, Tinker does tend to do that, tends to get very fat very quick, and even he's thousands of gold behind. He's a scepter behind. He's a scepter behind Arteezy right now, and he's on he's on a Tinker that got bots in what, 8 minutes?
Yeah, he had really early pots. But that's just how it goes against Zeus. Like, every matchup against Zeus will pretty much farm because Zeus wants to be safe. Like, we've talked about, how do you counter Zeus? Like, ganks are pretty easy against him, but when he's pushing out the lane constantly, he puts himself in a safe position. But since he's pushing out the lane, it makes it relatively easy to farm against the Zeus as well. So that's why every Zeus matchup is pretty much even.
Universe is going to be getting himself a pipe. And yeah, I think the plan for EG, just farm, wait for an Aegis, get it on Arteezy, let's see what items we have, then we're going to go high ground. And Universe getting his pipe up, not far at all away now, needs a headdress, so about another 450 gold-ish. And Arteezy, where are you at now? I mean, he's at 16,000 net worth. He's got 3K. Like, he's going to be able to go buy an Eagle song in like 60 seconds.
Yeah, I know it's scary. Fogged has the YOLO blink. I think BKB would have been a little bit better, but there is a chance. I mean, when you look at the lineup and you're playing Enigma and you see, okay, if I went blink BKB, is there anything that cancels the hole? No. Okay, well, then there's always a chance, because if, oh, hold that thought. Korok trying to find an initiation on Fear. Fear quickly blinks out. This might be the death now of Korok, and again walks into an ice path.
Arrow off the mark.
Arrow off the mark.
And look at Arteezy, a big beat wandering this field and just laying down pain. Behind that, though, we're going to see EG taking, Fear taking some damage. Ush is going to be caught with an ice path from behind. In the meantime, we can see they did activate the ulti. And Ush being pursued now by PPD. There's another Yules. Ice path. Dead Razor. And they never did even catch up with Fear. So they end up losing too. But just look at this. Arteezy just huge on this Terror Blade. He's actually now he's a little bit bigger. That is terrifying. Look how big he gets.
Terrifying.
Oh. Look at the creeps next to him. They're like coming up to his shins.
Yeah, that is actually really scary. Fogg's taking some ice path Yulesage, or Yule's ice passage, I can't talk. And yeah, this skin also is pretty cool too. It's like very dark and black, different looking than the... I don't like that purplish one that people have.
Yeah, I don't
the
either.
Arcana or whatever. Yeah, it's not for me. PPD gets taken out by Merlini. Merlini keeping as a stand-in, keeping this team in the game, really.
Yeah, more or less. Well, game is a relative term.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it's less than 10,000 net worth. I mean, like, that's in the game. Once you get up to 12, 14, that's what you just see. Yeah, this one's probably done.
He almost got arrowed. How they find Tottenham, and she's probably dead.
Super dead. And give the gem back. Yeah, no, that Peter dropped. PPD
right.
just dropped that when Merlini killed him, and MSS came out. So, gem reclaimed by the Evil Geniuses squad.
Hype finished for Universe, which is obviously very good against Kirk. Taker got up to Dagon worth now. Dagon 4, that's fine. I do agree with this, by the way. Maxing the Dagon, he just needs the range of it, really. And Fogged, he's dead. Doesn't even have a TP. Fear's actually going to spot it out with an invis. He can save his bolt for TP canceling. He uses the Yules to initiate. It's a little bit of an early initiate if you ask, actually.
Yeah, he's going to be up next.
To run away.
That's coming. Very quick reaction from Fog there. They didn't get the kill in mid either, and they will get this one out.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And Merlin shows his face, actually whiffed on the rockets. But Korok, when he can, he's still looking for a Maelstrom, though. He's been basically on the same item progression for 10 minutes.
Yeah, him and Ush have been having a pretty rough game. 0 and 11 combined. MSS couldn't really do anything bottom. I still think he should have started bottom. I don't know about his... And maybe some of that, like I said, had to do with just the fact that Zai made him heal at level 1 before the creeps even came out.
Yep.
Like, that was a pretty big deal. He did a ton of damage with just boots and ignite.
Dagon 5 done on Merlini. And he's going to have the burst, the range that you had said. I just keep looking around. It's like Navi's answer, the way they drafted is basically let Merlini split the map, let him push, then let's try to make things happen as 4 or 5. And I just don't think they have the goods right now. They're so underfarmed. Pipe is done on Universe already. Arteezy has to have something on the way. What is it? No? What did he spend his gold on?
Arteezy?
Yeah.
A heart?
Oh, yeah. I guess that's probably a big deal. I didn't even notice it. For some reason, I have no idea what I thought that was. Anyway, pretty big on our tour. And Roshan has responded. They'll take this for free at best. Navi US will get a top tier 2. But with this Aegis, they're going to go high ground, no doubt.
Dire's top tower is under
This
attack.
really, the heart actually helps illusions more than anything, like I said. That's the biggest thing that Navi have going for them, is that they can burst down the illusions with the March of Machines. But now with the heart, I don't think they can. Has another 2,200 gold in his belt too.
Is under attack.
Probably gets a butterfly.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Oh, Arteezy ate the arrow. And Chrono's going to be spin just to get the tower. Yeah,
Dire's
Korok
top
needs to
tower has fallen.
get out. Very close.
So close.
And didn't Universe have Blink there? Yeah. No, well, he just used it. I think if he waited, if the Zeus had been a little quicker from Fear and the Blink is there, I think he actually can get that kill. But still, close call, but well played that time. And uses the Blink, Ice Path, Macro. No, he's not going to Macro Fire, just going to Dual Breath. And Universe going to lead the way now with an Aphotic Shield on him. And caught from behind by a Fire Blast. They're actually playing this a little weirdly. Fog doesn't want to spend a Black Hole on one hero. Universe will go ahead and pipe. Arteezy's there. Eats a lot of damage from Merlini from behind, but Fog caught by the Ice Path and brought down. Came back to try to help his buddy and paid the price. No good deed goes unpunished. And now Universe right on top of them again. There's a Yules. Ice Path. Arteezy just chopping wood. A double kill for Arteezy. He's up to 5, going 2. And yeah, I think this is getting to ball game time.
And Navi US does seem like they like to really take it to the bitter end. So maybe that's what they're going to do, or at least take it until Rax falls. But Arteezy trying to cut through backdoor protection. Ush, he gets sundered. Taking still some damage. And he gets healed up and shielded up. He should be fine. He's just taking everything right here in the face of the tier 3 without creep support. And he just doesn't give two shits.
Nope. Does not care. He has an Aegis. Like, he has no problem standing up front and just being the catalyst to crack the high ground. Universe, in the meantime, has the bottom tier 3 down to half health.
Is under attack.
Split push Jakiro is super good. And Ush making his way down. Zai's going to go high ground with him now. Here comes Fog, and Black Hole completely missed. Well, I shouldn't say completely. He did get Zai, but had to get Universe. Universe was the one with the Yules anyway. And there's the ulti from Zeus. And this one, just about in the bag, as now Arteezy's going to be back up. I don't know, Korok does have his
Radiant's
chrono.
top tower has fallen.
And Meta's down.
Radiant's middle barracks.
In the meantime, the barracks are down here in mid, and Arteezy going to work on the range racks. We'll go ahead and use his Manta. Turning around, uses the
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
slow on Merlini. And they're still chasing PPD around. PPD will deny. And now Korok, once again, that's another 2-man Ice Path. Korok and Ush has just seemed like, oh, yeah, he can't go. He's dead. So, throws out the chrono as his last act.
Radiant's
Buyback from
middle
Peter.
barracks are under
And they do manage to clean up Arteezy again on the back of Merlini's burst. Universe gets off the Ice Path. Missed Tinker, but did catch Universe. And Universe started to TP. No, he didn't. And never mind, he just got caught with the Malefice. But they're going to come back, and there's another Yules. Ice Path. Dual Breath. Fog's going to end up dead to the urn, if nothing else. Fear secures a dominating streak. And, ooh, Arrow, nice save. Crazy good save. And that was actually Fear's Yules. For a second there, I thought Universe did it for him. But either way, they will finally pull back or at least take a breath. But doubt it's going to last for long. They are way ahead.
Yeah, they're just playing with their food at this point. Universe bought back, almost tie backed, but they're going to pressure this Rax bottom. I don't know why Navi US is actually trying to still fight this. But, alright, they have every right to. And they're trying to kill PPD. Denied himself last time with a miscoil. Uses it right there, so he's not going to be able to have the same luck this time. Arrow comes out. It looks like he was actually fishing for Ush. But, Arteezy, oh my god. With the boots of travel, take out top racks. There's 1 racks remaining, and actually Universe is taking that one out right now as we speak.
Barracks are under attack.
And look at this. This is just ridiculous. Just truly ridiculous. And yeah, they're about to be megas. Merlini though still padding the stats. Merlini fantasy points. Universe, Ice Path, and Daddy's home. As Arteezy chops him down. Fog down again. And there's going to be a chrono. And GG's going to be called. It looks like, yeah. Korok says, I just wanted another kill. But this one got out of hand in a hurry. Navi US led the game by approximately 200 gold. For every bit of about, I call it 2.5 minutes. And from that point on, it was all evil geniuses the entire way. And that's especially on the back of Arteezy's farm. Finishes a 35-minute game.